I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBM, we're stepping into a sweeping Southern drama where love, faith, science, and magic collide. We're talking with a terrific author. Her name is MaryPat Spikes Koos, and she brings us Age of the Earth. It is a richly layered story following Mary Margaret and Eugene, two wildly different souls whose passionate elopement leads them into a world of seismic emotions, spiritual mysteries, and life-altering revelations deep in the Louisiana bayou. It is an unforgettable tale about marriage, identity, desire, and the forces, seen and unseen, that shape the human heart. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her on TV today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Mary Pat, thank you so much for joining us here today.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
It's such an honor to have you on the show. You've done great work on this book. Let's talk about your early life. How did your upbringing in an oil exploration family shape the novel's vivid seismograph and bayou world?
Well, the world of the Doodlebugger, and at the time when they were moving around often from place to place throughout the South, that's the world I was born into, and it obviously shaped me in many ways because I ended up writing this book about it. When I started writing about doodlebugging, the image that came into my mind was the flying red horse. And when I was very young, we would be driving along Highway 80 toward the Dallas area. And my mom would say, watch for it, watch for it, watch for the flying red horse. And sure enough, at that time, you could see it on the horizon if you looked at the right time. And so I guess that made a big impression on me because it sort of became an image that stuck with me all my life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mary Margaret and Eugene come from completely opposite belief systems. Talk to us
Yes.
about why you decided to pair this couple, one with faith, one with atheism in a marriage.
Well, I grew up in a Protestant denomination that was quite fundamentalist. And so I kind of faced the conflict between those beliefs and those of most of society all my life. So I chose a different denomination, Baptist, to place in this story, but I could use many of the same conflicts.
Yeah.
And I think my father dealt with that conflict as he didn't formally join a church until late in life. And one of the reasons he had given for not joining the church was his beliefs about the age of the earth, because of the evidence he had seen in his own work. So I don't know how he resolved that conflict in his own mind, but it intrigued me.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely, absolutely. You touched upon this a little bit before, talking about the flying red horse.
mhm.
What does it represent in Mary Margaret's spiritual journey?
Well, I think because it's associated so much with her sexual awakening, which as a young virginal bride developed after marriage rather than before. And so, but she also associates it with prayer. So I think she's probably a little confused about what this all means. It, how do sex and God, combine in her life?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think particularly people from a religious background sometimes often have those conflicts, you know, and
Exactly.
I think they're pretty natural. Um, Give the folks at home a little bit of an overview of the story.
Well, when the baby is born in the middle of the Mardi Gras parade, under very perilous circumstances, um, Mary Margaret and the baby were both very near death at the time that Eugene's friend, mentor, and father figure stepped in to try to deliver the baby. And he does. Um, and I don't think we ever decide during the novel whether it was a miracle or not. Some of the Doodlebuggers themselves were very comfortable in calling this a miracle. Some of the townspeople, others were just shocked by the circumstances. And obviously, Eugene was tormented by the fact that his wife's private parts were, kind of put on display. Um, so all these things contribute to the drama and the conflict in the story.
Yeah.
And Mary Margaret is all through the novel is trying to decide whether she should stay with the crew or if she should go back home to Dallas. One of the superiors in Eugene's company had advised that, wives who are married to men with a college degree don't stay on the crew. Eventually, they go back to Dallas. But she very much wanted to stay. And she was becoming a part of the crew and becoming close to these women that the other wives, whom her mother would have considered dirty-minded. And so there are all these conflicts kind of weaving and resurfacing throughout the novel. And then Eugene is placed to an enormous test where his integrity and honesty are called into question. And how he attempts to resolve that conflict leads to more crisis. And the book ends not with a happy Hollywood ending, but I hope with a hopeful ending, that these people will go on despite all that has happened to them.
Absolutely. Talk to the folks at home, explain who the Doodlebug wives are and the world that they
Okay.
create and the role they play in the community.
Right. Well, one is Altadine, who's married to Harmon, and she's probably until Mary Margaret arrived, she was maybe the leader of the Doodlebug wives. She's dirty-minded. Where as Mary Margaret's mother would have explained it, where everything has to do with what. So there was all this sexual innuendo throughout the wives' conversation. Her best friend is Jonelle, and she was a former hairdresser, and they live in house trailers. And something that my own mother drew the line at. In all the years she and Daddy were, moving around every 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, maybe if they were lucky 6 months, she would not live in a house trailer. She drew that line. But I sat in house trailers with my mother having coffee with the lady who lived there, and they would bring out their jewelry boxes for me to play with. And I didn't put this in the book, but they would, in the particular religion we belong to, jewelry was forbidden. So I have a quite an affinity for jewelry now that I trace exactly to that.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, it's
Playing with all of
whatever's
these.
forbidden you want. You know, ban a book,
Exactly.
everybody wants to read it. You can't wear
Exactly.
jewelry, you're gonna have rings on every finger, right? Yeah, without a doubt. Amazing.
Not
Amazing the
quite, but I have
restriction.
quite a collection.
Yeah. Amazing the restrictions that religions put on us for, no reason, no reason really. Or obscure reasons at best. Do you envision a sequel or a companion novel exploring the child's life after these events?
Actually, I do.
Okay.
I have another novel that was my master's thesis for my degree from USC in professional writing. And it needs some work. I'm not quite happy with it. But I realized as I was preparing Age of the Earth for publication um, that if I'm going to, and the next book takes place in Bogota, Colombia, where my family went when I was 13. And since the baby in the novel, Terrell Ray, and I are the same age, um, when he is 13, that's when they go. And I realized if I was going to visit these characters again, then I have to carry through all the conflicts that began in the first book.
Mm.
And so it needs some work, but I'm anxious to get started on it. We'll
Wonderful.
see. We'll see how long it takes me.
Yeah, you never know. It might take you it might be done much more quickly than you'd ever expect, or
I
you might
hope
have to
so.
labor
I hope
through it.
so.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. Have you envisioned Age of the Earth as a film?
I have. I
Yeah.
have. In the writers group in LA that I belonged to for over 30 years, that was one of the favorite occupations after group was over, was making a cast of characters from current actors to be in the film of Age of the Earth. So yes, I have envisioned it as
Wonderful. Who's in your cast?
well. Uh, Tommy Lee Jones was to play Judd, but
Okay.
he may have aged out as I have. I don't know, but
Yeah.
but
It's
it's a
always
fun thing. Yeah,
it
one of
is
the
fun
good
doing the fantasy casting, and I guess Mary
it
Margaret
is.
and Eugene would be up and coming stars.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you've done great work on this book. It's really engaging, it's really imaginative, and it's really, rooted in a lot of reality for a lot of people with conflicts of religion and spirituality and sexuality and emotional
Exactly.
conflicts that arise because of all of those forces. The name of the book we've been talking about today is The Age of the Earth. I'm going to take it again. The name of the book we've been talking about today is called Age of the Earth. It is a
Exactly. Yeah.
stunning exploration of love, identity, and the spiritual forces that move beneath the surface of our lives. It's a riveting, emotionally rich story that stays with you long after the final page. And before we leave you today, Mary Pat, let me ask you this. What do you hope stays with readers after they turn that last page?
Um, there's a line in the book when Henrietta, Judd's wife, says to Mary Margaret, um, "Life is not like knitting. It's not either right or wrong." And that's a tough thing to wrestle with. But
It's just like it's not black or white. We all live in
exactly,
shades of gray. When you are
exactly.
raised in a strict religious background, you're raised that things are black and white.
Hmm.
And in some ways, life is almost easier to navigate when you think things are either black and white, right or wrong. There's not much decision making,
Yeah,
but but most of life is literally lived within the gray.
right.
And it's kind of what makes life more interesting than just being an absolutist. That's wrong. This is right. Do this and you'll go to heaven. If it was that easy, we'd all just follow the rules and go to heaven, right?
I think we'll all be there anyway.
I
So,
think we'll be there all. Some might not be. There's some pretty bad people in this world, but for the by and large, most people are good at heart. I believe, like
right.
Anne Frank believes, despite of everything, most people are good at heart. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for joining us here today.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time, your insight, and the wonderful work on this book, and we look forward to your upcoming book as well. To
Thank
the
you.
folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford for the Global Book Network. So long for now.